Today is the NBA trade deadline. Players are going everywhere. Could the WWE eventually have some sort of a trade system? Why would they? They're a publicly traded company. I get it. Why share exposure with independent companies? But, you know, coupled with the rumors that Triple H is getting more control thanks to Vince McMahon and the XFL, it would only make sense that Triple H would go that route because Triple H is already used to that. He's brought guys into NXT. They've retreated back to companies like Impact Wrestling, like James Storm. He brought in Bobby Roode. He swapped him. It would not be unheard of, especially if WWE is signing all these amazing talents. WWE does need to restock the pond. So if they have legends, or not legends, but if they have superstars that are kind of been around a while and they need a fresh start, maybe WWE doesn't have immediate plans for them, they could build up some major hype and drama, although the signings kind of do the same thing. But could we see trades? Now, I know what you're saying. Why would they trade with a competitor? Why would they be a trade with, like, Impact or something like that? It doesn't necessarily have to be with a company like Impact Wrestling. It doesn't have to be something big like that. It could be with the promotions they work with. It could be like ICW. Drew McIntyre is being inducted to the Hall of Fame. WWE is promoting it. This could be like Evolve. They could make a trade like with, say, Matt Riddle coming to the WWE. I joked about this on my Twitter when all these bombs were going on with the NBA, like this was going down today with major trades happening with the Cleveland Cavaliers, making moves for LeBron James, trading Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder. Like, they're going big today, picking up George Hill and Rodney Hood. So could the WWE do something like this? Now, I jokingly tweeted out Daniel Bryan traded a Ring of Honor for Dalton Castle, and then Evolve would pick up Jay Lethal. It's kind of like this big thing. It's big risk, big reward. You know, Daniel Bryan wants to wrestle. He's under contract. Send him over to ROH. Give ROH some eyeballs because WWE is going to end up signing a lot of people in ROH at some point. Why not let Daniel Bryan's hype build back up the company? Same thing like with Samoa Joe or CM Punk. Like I said, this is all really long-reaching stuff, and I don't see it happening. But it could be very interesting, especially if you know somebody from Evolve is somebody that you're going to bring in, because as Gabe Sapolsky and WWN and Evolve, their whole banner does tryouts with William Regal, where you can come in and try out. And from those tryouts, somebody will be an NXT extra based on, you know, their performance. And they've had guys that have shown up on NXT TV. So it is definitely something they could do. But WWE at the same time could just sign guys like War Machine, Ricochet. They can make a big deal out of it like that. But like I said, it's like Emma, when she got released, she releases, then you have a 90-day release policy because WWE continues to pay her, like all superstars under contract, and then after 90 days, they're free to go wherever. But imagine a time where Triple H, you know, they know, and I know they have corporate responsibility. Like I said, this is kind of far-reaching. This is an out-there idea. It would pretty much be kayfabed or gimmicked. You know, it's obviously not going to be real trades. Like one day Daniel Bryan just goes, you know what, I don't like you, Ty Dillinger. You're out of here. I traded you to Ring of Honor. Like, it's not going to be like that. Right? It's going to be more scripted. It's going to be more hyped. It's going to be more of a big deal. Like, rumors are swirling that WWE is finally going to let Daniel Bryan out of his contract. That finally Daniel Bryan has got to this point where WWE's like, all right, Daniel, you can go. Because if any of the risk happens, it's all under ROH's roof, right? Like, I don't want Daniel Bryan to get hurt, and I don't necessarily want that. But if you know he's going to be going anyway, get something in return. Now, WWE wouldn't do that most likely because, I mean, let's be honest here. Then they'd be tied to it or attached to it. They'd prefer just to, like, you know, let a contract go and let something like that happen. But I would love to see this happen between brands where the superstars are traded or loaned out, kind of like in the territory system when guys would kind of stay with, you know, in a certain region, and then, you know, they went national and everything kind of changed. And you had superstars go wherever, especially nowadays. You can get booked all over the world. You don't need to rely on anybody, and you can get your own bookings. Your own social media can get you over. And what better way than to hype that, right? Like, you can have rumors of guys signing down in NXT, Triple H going after these younger talents. But if Triple H is really wanting to, you know, change the game of professional wrestling, and I hope at one point down the line we eventually get like the WWE Network, a streaming service for all wrestling fans with all wrestling in the house under the umbrella, so we can watch whatever, wherever for one set price. Whether you only want to watch WWE for $9.99 or for $14.99, you get Evolve, you get ICW, you get Progress, and you get all these other companies, and then WWE in that ecosystem can make these trades. You can loan them out. Think of, like, the way I think of it is like FIFA or in football or soccer, wherever you're from, because I know if I call it soccer, some people would get really upset. But if you get that trade system where like you could loan players out, like let's say on TV, like instead of like let's say you're repackaging somebody, right? Like when Triple H takes Sasha Banks off TV because she's over and she doesn't have to be on TV. Why not loan her out? And I get like there's injuries. This is why it's too big of a risk, I think, for WWE as a corporately traded company to take these chances, especially when they can't control the product. So it may only be showing up and being a guest GM. It may only be to build hype. They may show up and have invasion angles. They may, you know, like there's so much liability that would make this pretty much almost an impossible idea, but it'd be really cool. It's like when WWE announces Drew going back to ICW. Because WWE is signing a lot of talent. It's like if you look over to New Japan, Kenny Omega just dropped his title to Jay White. Are we going to get Kenny Omega in the WWE? I don't know. You're all in 2018. Cody Rhodes is changing the business. You have guys getting signed that WWE probably never would have signed in the past. You have WWE at a point right now where there's so much talent in-house where the programming, like just to try to fit everybody in, you know, it'd be a great thing to kind of loan them out. And I honestly believe that. But how would it work? What was the best way I could see this happening? I would like to see them all under one roof. Like I said, if WWE is going to send somebody over to a show, they have to have skin in the game, right? They want to have a reason. So if you subscribe to the network, you know, it doesn't make sense to like send a guy over and make you go buy like a pay-per-view for a company you may or may not know. But if you're paying a little bit extra on the WWE network, helping out WWE's bottom line, they're more willing to give out a superstar. Like if Kurt Angle makes a surprise appearance and you can only watch it on the award-winning WWE exclusive WWE network, it's huge. It's a thing that really separates WWE. And by having this huge conglomerate of wrestling companies, it could really change the game and kind of make a more professional feel to it. Because the XFL is going to be Vince McMahon's focus. And as Triple H gets more power, I legitimately seeing him kind of going somewhat in this route, because I think Triple H knows that he brings guys into NXT. It's like watching the Royal Rumble this year. Look how many guys were NXT made. And yes, they had careers before NXT, but they came into the system and they got acclimated in the WWE's fashion. It's the same thing with AJ Styles. He came in as a world superstar, probably the hottest wrestler in the world, and he lost to Jericho, and then he lost to Reigns, and now he's the face that runs the place on SmackDown, and he is the guy. So there's that waiting period where if you got traded right away and then they lost right away, and then if WWE sent them back, you're kind of bringing somebody in as a loser, where if you're in the WWE system, it'd be a longer build to eventually get you over. So that might affect it too. But who could I see this working with? I could legitimately see this working like with adult and cast. Like WWE could do like one night onlys. Like we're talking about tournaments where WWE brings people from all around, but like and I hate to say this, but like TNA one night only. Like to bring in people from all over the world where Triple H gives them opportunities like in a tournament. It's like, as he's got all these guys like Roddy Strong, Adam Cole, they bring in people from other promotions to come in, and then Triple H can, like, if you have the hottest free agent, right? Like, let's say you have WWE one night only, and they bring in superstars from Ring of Honor, Evolve, PWG, Progress, ICW, any promotion they're working with. And pretty much all the WWE guys get the victory, but they get the exposure, so they're happy to come in. But the one guy that wins is the guy you're planning on signing anyway, right? Like it's this huge thing. Like he just beat WWE superstar. Oh my God, who is this guy? What is going on? And then like there's rumors of them signing and Triple H luring them away from the promotion. Like as kayfabe as that is, and is hard to believe as that could possibly be, it's something very intriguing and something I would love to see happen within the WWE. I would love to see this ecosystem of more wrestling, more superstars getting exposure, because I look at it as not a company. I'm looking at it as the specific superstars that I enjoy, because in the WWE system, they're going to have to follow WWE's rules, whether they want to use them or not. But once they get that system and the business under control, like Cody Rhodes, who realizes why he was in the position he was. Drew McIntyre realized the position he was in, and he went out and made himself to get re-signed by WWE. WWE can utilize not being able to use these talent inside of the company to let them go reinvent themselves outside, because by doing that, you're releasing, name superstars. Like, this is how the business has always been. Big names go to other companies. Like if you look back to like Macho showing up in TNA, Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, It's a trading of talent, but now with WWE having so much control, they're making so much money. They have so many TV deals. They have so much programming to fill that for wrestling culture, this could be huge. So I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. If WWE ever did a trade system, if they ever did some sort of in-house all under one, who could you see them working with legitimately? Where could you see WWE going with this? Could you see this being like super cheesy where it's pretty obvious? Could you see WWE trying to like blur the lines and making this as realistic as possible? Is this something that it's way too far-fetched no matter what? WWE is never going to do this. They're always just going to release talent. They're never going to, you know, acknowledge other promotions, even though they slightly do occasionally with like New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like imagine WWE versus New Japan. Like, going back in time, so as Finn Balor, AJ Styles, maybe even Kenny Omega are standing across from everybody they used to be in factions with, that they used to wrestle with. I think of UFC and I think of Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, how they've changed boxing and MMA. They've turned it into an entertainment phenomenon. And that's what WWE, I want him to do. I want Gronk at WrestleMania. I want this bigger than life. If Gronk retires from WWE, I want the Patriots to trade him to WWE. You know what I mean? Like this, we live in an entertainment world, and if we want more wrestling fans, if we want WWE to have more money, we got to drive more interest. So let me know in the comment section below, guys. I hope you enjoyed this discussion video. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep chugging along. And as always, CM Pulse is a little girl, but that's fine. And my name is Tubby Moo. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to follow me on social media at Tubby Emo if you guys enjoy. And until next time, we will see you all later. Huh.